In the 19th century, as England stood at the zenith of its global power, its might forged by the Industrial Revolution, strengthened by sweeping social and political reforms, and celebrated as a workshop of the world, a new light flickered far from its shores in Constantinople. It was there on October 1st, 1823, that Sophie Leaves was born to Henry Daniel Leaves and Marina Holtain, a devout and cultured English Anglican family. Her arrival marked the beginning of a journey that would transcend Anglican roots, blossom into Catholic faith, and culminate in the founding of the Apostolic Carmel.
Sophie inherited from her parents an indomitable courage, love for the poor, fiery ardor, perseverance in the face of difficulties, and above all, deep faith in God and love for the scriptures. She was also gifted with singular talents of mind and heart, which were nurtured by sound education and wide experience. Under divine inspiration, young Sophie broke off her engagement to a marine officer, Mr. Kenneth, whom she loved much, that she might belong only to God. Though her original desire was to become an Anglican religious and devote herself to prayer and works of charity, God was leading her elsewhere. An avid reader, deep thinker, and ardent seeker of truth, Sophie from her earliest years felt drawn to certain practices of the Roman Catholic Church. Her study of the New Testament in Greek convinced her of the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist, and at the age of 27, she embraced the gift of faith without hesitation or concern for the cost. On 2nd February 1850, she was baptized by Father Seagrave S.J. at the Church of Jesus in Malta. Despite the rejection she foresaw from her loved ones, beginning with her own mother and from the wider Protestant society, an English woman who desired nothing but the will of God, Sophie remained perfectly attuned to the inner voice of the Spirit, guiding her life, and with unwavering devotion, she sought and fulfilled God's purpose and design in and through her. A life of no ordinary prayer and sacrifice culminated in her generous response to the call to religious life. She entered the congregation of St. Joseph of the Apparition at Syros, made her religious profession on 14th September 1851, and took the name of Sister Mary Veronica of the Passion. Her earlier years as a religious were marked with mystical graces and deep experiences in prayer, which strengthened her already profound faith. As a sister of St. Joseph, Sister Veronica was assigned to teaching, first at Syros and then at the Free School in Athens, where she looked after the poor with great love. It was here that she discovered her special vocation with the sick, the rich and the poor alike, to whom she devoted herself day and night in spite of her own weak health. On several occasions, she says, "The good God gave me the grace to be able to make some sick people receive the sacraments who would have died deprived of the help of religion." Later, she was sent as superior to found a house and an orphanage at Piraeus in Greece, and then transferred to Tremeril, a small village in Brittany, France, where besides being in charge of the convent and the school, she served as a nurse to the whole village and the neighborhood, there being no doctors within the radius of several miles.
Meanwhile, India was under British colonial rule, marked by centralized authority through viceroys and the Indian Civil Service. Colonial policies brought deindustrialization, rising rents, and widespread indebtedness as India's resources were harnessed to fuel Britain's industrial growth, leaving the country economically weakened. English education was introduced to cultivate Indian leaders, while Christian missionaries established numerous schools, greatly advancing women's education. Filled with zeal for the missions in India, Mother Veronica embraced her calling with ardent faith. In 1862, she was sent to establish a house of the congregation at Calicut on the Malabar coast. It was in Calicut that Mother Veronica discerned the signs of the times and recognized the Church's urgent need for evangelization and the faith formation of Catholics. Around this period, the Carmelite bishops of India's west coast were deeply convinced of the necessity of establishing a teaching order of Carmelite sisters to advance the missions work. Guided by an interior voice, "I want you in Carmel," and under the spiritual direction of Father Maria from OCD, the local parish priest, Mother Veronica discovered her special vocation to found a congregation of the Third Order Regular of active Carmelites dedicated to the missions, particularly to the evangelization and faith formation of young girls on India's western coast through education and other apostolic ministries. The path to this mission was far from easy. Mother Veronica faced the painful challenge of leaving her beloved congregation, a community she cherished and where she was deeply loved. Yet, her zeal for the missions gave her the strength to bid farewell and enter the Carmel of Paul on June 15, 1867, to imbibe the spirit of Carmel. After completing her novitiate and making her first profession, she left Paul in search of a place to establish her congregation. For 6 months, she wandered from place to place without success. At last, after enduring unimaginable trials, poverty, hardships, and untold sufferings, yet sustained by unshakable faith in God and her relentless search for His will, Mother Veronica founded the Apostolic Carmel at Bayonne, France on July 16, 1868. This historic foundation was made possible with the authorization of the Very Reverend Father Dominic OCD, then Superior General of the discussed Carmelites, and with the approval and support of Monsignor Lacroix, Bishop of Bayonne. On 19th November 1870, the first group of 3 Apostolic Carmelites arrived in India, followed by 2 more the next year. They were established in the Diocese of Mangalore under Bishop Maria from OCD, and despite many hardships, worked zealously for the spread of God's kingdom. The Foundress, however, in spite of her earnest desire and longing to be with her spiritual daughters, was not destined to reach India, as she had to remain in Bayonne and train more sisters to be sent to the Indian mission. At St. Anne's Convent, Mangalore, the sisters from Bayonne, France, joined an existing community, the Carmelite Tertiaries, founded by Bishop Michael Anthony OCD, Ephraim's predecessor. Dedicated to educating and caring for poor Catholic children along the West Coast, This institute merged with the Apostolic Carmel after Bishop Michael Anthony's resignation in 1870, strengthening their mission and expanding their reach. While the mission in India was gaining strength, events in France took a different turn. Unfavorable circumstances obliged Mother Veronica to close down in 1873 the convent at Bayonne, for which she had suffered and agonized. Then at the age of 50, she re-entered the cloistered Carmel of Pau again as a novice, and this time made her solemn profession as a discalced Carmelite on 21st November 1874, taking the name of Sister Marie Therese of Jesus. Meanwhile, the infant congregation in India took root and was flourishing in spite of difficulties. Soon after her profession, a new chapter opened in her journey. In 1875, together with 10 Carmelite nuns from the cloistered Carmel of Pau, Mother Veronica was sent for a new foundation at Bethlehem, where she remained for 12 years. Her stay in Bethlehem brought out a new dimension of her saintly qualities, as she was offered a painful participation in the cross of our Master in a special way. After the death of Sister Mary of Jesus crucified, she underwent terrible trials, misunderstandings, humiliations of every kind. Finally, God gave her peace through the instrumentality of Monsignor Bracco, the Patriarch of Jerusalem, who helped her to accept suffering as coming from God and enabled her to leave Bethlehem and return to the Carmel of Pau.
Back in Pau, a serene and grace-filled phase of her life began. The last 19 years of her life were spent in peace and tranquility at the Carmel of Pau. Truly, she could say at the end, self seems to disappear, whereas God and His mercy alone remain. Her heroic yes to God, who was becoming her all to an ever-deepening degree with the passing years, continued with increasing ardor. Her vibrant yes that she treasured, her zeal for the mission, her ardent love, her self-emptying humility, her heroic obedience, and her boundless trust shone through every aspect of her life. Her gift of mystical prayer, along with her thirst for asceticism, made her increasingly humble and compassionate of heart. She prayed and made penance unceasingly for her sisters in India, whom she loved dearly, and with whom she kept in touch through correspondence. She treasured and nurtured the gift of faith all through her life, and lived a life of gratitude to God for these precious gifts. Her life of loving surrender to God under challenging circumstances culminated in her holy death on 16th November 1906. The work begun by Mother Veronica was not merely an initiative of human effort, but a mission deeply rooted in divine providence. Far from fading away, it endured and grew through the unwavering dedication of Mother Marie Desange, the first Superior General. As one of the courageous pioneers who journeyed from Bayonne to Mangalore in 1870, she carried forward Mother Veronica's vision with steadfast faith, ensuring that the flame of the Apostolic Carmel remained alive and radiant. From its very beginning, the little congregation grew in number and in stability as a teaching institute of active Carmelites, and was aggregated to the order of the Discalced Carmelites. Under Mother Aloysia, who succeeded Mother Marie Desange, the congregation further stabilized and became one of pontifical right in 1925. During Mother Aloysia's tenure of office, the Apostolic Carmel took root in Sri Lanka, in response to the earnest request of the Bishop of Trincomalee, who recognized the educational competence of the sisters and eagerly sought for their services in his diocese. In 1949, the constitutions were granted pontifical approval.
The little seed sown in the heart of Mother Veronica has now grown into a mighty tree, its branches spreading over the length and breadth of India and Sri Lanka and reaching even to Kuwait, Pakistan, Rome, Kenya, Bahrain, Tanzania, France and Germany. Rooted in the contemplative spirit of Carmel and nourished by its life of prayer and missionary zeal, the Apostolic Carmel expresses the vitality of the Church through its fruitfulness in the active apostolate of education and other works of mercy. Mother Veronica's cause for beatification and canonization was introduced on 16th July 1999 by Most Reverend Dr. Ignatius Paul Pinto, the Archbishop of Bangalore, at the Apostolic Carmel General Aid, Bangalore, and she was declared venerable by our Holy Father Pope Francis on 9th July 2014. We are now looking forward for the day when she will be raised to the honors of the altars, so that she becomes a greater source of inspiration to all those who wish to follow Jesus in the Apostolic Carmel way of life.